Oh, right.
Hello, everyone. It's Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Les, how you doing?
Very good. It's been a really busy week in the car industry,
Sure has.
and a fun week for the most part.
Yeah, fun week. Interesting photo from the folks at Hyundai. Everyone's getting tough. They're getting tough with their 2026 Passport Trailsport, which is kind of a clumsy
Yep.
name, but a nice looking vehicle.
Yeah, it is nice looking. I'm not a fan of orange
No,
with yellow accents, but that's just that's just
that's you.
I was terrified of a pumpkin once. Um, but Acura, on the other side, goes for entry-level luxury crossover with the ADX. This, I think, is smart.
Well, it's, the old idea, the old adage used to be, well, if the vehicle's small, you don't put a lot of options in it or a lot
Right.
of just make it not available. I always thought that was dumb because people want a smaller vehicle. If you're living in a city, if you're living in a crowded area, maybe you just want a smaller vehicle. You don't want a big
Yeah.
vehicle. So they are taking this tact. Once again, they're saying, well, the young folks will like this. More than likely, it's just people that don't need a giant SUV and but want the nice things that come in a larger SUV and a smaller SUV. I could see why they might like that. So we'll take a look at that ADX, and then Fiat 500 less 500E is getting the Giorgio Armani treatment. You have a lot of Giorgio's clothing in your.
We, yeah. I and again, the 500 is just such a cute vehicle, and it makes sense to make it electric.
It just has not
And
sold well, but this is the Giorgio
it
Armani
has not
version.
sold well. Limited range, a little bit small for an awful lot of people. But I think if you dress them up, like Giorgio will certainly do,
I love the wheel covers. I think they're fun.
the real, I think they're kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I do too. I love how it's on the runway. It's a cute car. It's
that's
a very cute car. Don't you think?
that's very cute, incredibly cute.
Yeah. Uh, they just need to get the range up and hopefully, yeah, there's the wheel cover. I like them. I think they're kind of different and fun.
They're just different enough that you think maybe it's your initials, or it's some kind of a geometric pattern. It's just enough.
Yeah, I like them. I like them, and we'll talk about that. Also, Genesis updates its best-selling model. Do you know what the best-selling model is for Genesis in the
Well,
U.S.?
I would think it's the 90, but
Nope, it's the GV70 actually.
it is the 70. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So they've updated that. They have an electrified version, which in the case of Genesis means it is all electric. Um, they do the best interiors, man. They really do.
Everyone should test drive a Genesis.
Yes, this has now the long, continuous screen where the speedometer and the navigation kind of seamlessly blend in across the vehicle, which is very nice. I've driven their GV80 with
Yep.
that, and they've put this into the 70 now. And then we're also going to talk about something from the folks at Audi, their new e-tron. Seems like they're bringing out a new e-tron every week, but we're going to talk about that. Their e-tron GT, RS e-tron GT. This guy's building one.
And yes, that's right. I bought the kit, and
Yeah, I bought the
it's
kit. Yeah.
it arrives in a 400 crates, and a pair of pliers and a screwdriver.
Now, also, we've got James Bell from Kia join us.
Yes.
A lot to talk about there. So we're
Oh
coming in.
boy.
Here we go on the live show.
Here we go.
I'll bring us in.
This is Cruise Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin. Because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
That's right. It is about to begin, and it has begun. Welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine with Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Les, how are you?
Very good. I'm eager to get going this hour.
You mean like get going, leave out the door, or talk about cars?
No. To get going with our stories and, of course, our guests, because it's always fun talking with them. We'll tell you who it is in a minute, and also, a lot of really cool products that we get to talk about this hour.
Yeah,
that have just been unveiled.
Yep, you're starting with Honda, right?
Honda, they say they get tough with the all-new 2026 Passport Trailsport. This is the off-road version of the Passport.
Yep.
And they only come in photographs of them making dust or splashing through water or jumping in the air. But that's okay because it can do it.
Yes.
I'm not sure you want to, but it can do it.
Then over at Acura, we're going to talk about an entry-level luxury crossover called the ADX. It's kind of all the good stuff of an Acura in a smaller package. I like that. I think it's a good idea. Don't you?
Yep. I think it's smart. And the Fiat 500e, there's nothing cuter out there than the Fiat 500 and the electric version. They get designer treatment from Giorgio Armani.
I know you have a full complement of Armani.
I have right next to my Macy's suit. I have a Giorgio Armani clothes hanger.
Well, I have to say, the Fiat 500e has had a tough little launch, but hey, it's coming back. It's so cute, and I like those wheel covers. So we'll talk about that. And then Genesis, over at Genesis, do you have an idea what their most popular model is in the U.S.?
Absolutely. People love them. The GV70 is just, the dealers can't keep them in the inventory. It's, again, if you've never driven one, go drive one. They're just such terrific cars.
And then over at Audi, we have a new e-tron, the RS e-tron GT. We're going to get to that. How the heck will we get to this? Plus, James Bell from Kia is going to join us. I think they just ran the table at the LA Auto Show, introducing 5 models. We figured there's so much. Let's have James Bell come on from Kia and tell us all about it. So that's all coming up on Cruise Control. Kia and Hyundai just seem to have an endless supply of new product, don't they?
And both of them are on the finalist lists for the North American Car, Truck, and Utility Vehicle Awards.
Which is great.
Which will be announced in January.
Yeah, I believe their K4 is on that list. You are a K5 owner. And
yep.
I just, as I always say, they're so agile. Kia is so agile that they can come out with all these things. We're going to look at all the models that they come up. We're going to ask about James about a couple more that are coming up too, and see if he'll give us some inside
It is
scoop.
just remarkable. And my K5, which I've only had for 4 months, I just had a 6,000-mile oil change.
Yeah. Wow. So
Well, I've done a lot of driving in the past. Not normal but it has just been remarkable
yeah.
and incredible gas mileage.
Yes.
Every gadget in the world, including things that keep surprising you, like you take your hand off the wheel, you've been at the wheel for like an hour and a half, and suddenly a little coffee cup will light up with a message saying, "Do you feel like a stop?"
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Doesn't give you the coffee, but that would be even
Yeah,
better.
well, I think they're a coffee maker, but I haven't found it yet.
Do you know they do that in Scania trucks in Europe? They have a coffee maker on the dashboard.
They should.
You need to have the other part of
think,
that, though, a bathroom.
See, that's the problem.
Because normally that, half hour later, that will require a trip to the bathroom.
Coffee has a marvelous effect.
But I found that interesting. I was watching somebody on YouTube that brought a Scania here and is using it to drive, and it's interesting content. And
yeah,
there was the coffee maker. I was like, wow. He's like, this comes with a coffee maker.
If you could put next to the coffee maker a peanut or candy vending machine.
You never leave. You drive for 25 hours straight. Yeah. Well, what do you have for a forgotten car this week? We got 5 seconds. We're coming back in 5 seconds, so you bring us back in.
We'll do it later. Yep.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred and I are so excited to get going.
Yes.
On this because we got a lot of stuff, and we have a guest that we know you'll like a little later on. So let's get to the Honda Passport Trailsport. Everybody's familiar with the Passport. It's been around for years. It's great, but this is a heavy-duty one.
Yeah, heavy-duty. And, Honda has not really been known for heavy-duty off-road trucks.
They're not.
They have... I've liked the Passport. Out of all their vehicles, it feels a little like a military vehicle for some reason, and I think it's just the way you sit in it. But, it was still a Honda, a great vehicle. But they've taken it to another step. 2026. We're talking about a lot of 2026 models today on Cruise Control. Most off-road capable Honda SUV ever, with increased ground clearance, off-road tuned suspension, and specifically developed all-terrain tires. It packs top-level feature content, including a Trail Watch camera system, and the broadest line of genuine Honda accessories to add rugged capability and robust rock sliders. And the return of the stowable picnic table. Who doesn't like that?
It's now I'm using their words here. That's completely reimagined, redesigned around a born wild concept. That's us.
Yeah, I think of myself as pretty wild. Yes.
Yeah. And if really and truly the Trail Sport, they're saying it's the ultimate Honda adventure SUV. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Rugged. It's again, we have a photo on the screen. I'm not my favorite color.
Orange.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
What's interesting here, every Passport, there's one engine. What's interesting is it's a 3.5 liter V6. with
Yeah.
285 horsepower. Most have gone to turbo 4s. This is a V6. So if you like V6s, this could be for you. 10-speed automatic.
Yeah.
It's the first model that get that.
They are not fooling around here.
Yeah.
This is a serious, powerful off-road and on-road machine. And Honda, let's face it, Honda builds exceptionally good vehicles. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we will have plenty more to talk about with this, but if you're looking for a V6 as opposed to a turbo 4 in a somewhat large SUV with incredible capability, this might be it. And we'll talk more about the Passport in the future for sure, and the Trailsport. Passport Trailsport, I don't know, it seems like a little hard word to say. Like the two of those seem weird. I don't
it's
know
a
why.
little, yeah. I mean, it's got every feature you
Port
can
and
possibly imagine.
Port and
Um,
sport. Port and sport.
yep.
But
And it's not cheap. But
no, it's not cheap. I don't think we have pricing, do we? No.
yeah, it's 40. Hang on here. Whoops.
Starts at 40.
Yeah, it starts
So
and continues on its way up.
that's right. Let's talk about something that is a little bit more affordable, I would imagine. That is the Acura ADX. This is a 2025 model. Huh, old. Right? Old. We're talking 2026 or 8. No, it's a
Yeah.
2025 model, all new, 220 horsepower, same engine as the Acura Integra. It will arrive at Acura dealers in early 2025. It features an upscale tech-rich interior, a 10.2-inch Acura Precision cockpit, 9-inch touchscreen interface, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging pad, all standard. It's a well-equipped, smaller crossover. And, of course, they're saying the young people will buy this. I think, they want to bring young people into the brand. Understandable. I think people that just want the Acura goodness in a smaller package will buy this. What do you think, Les Jackson?
Yeah. I think this will appeal more so to young people than, say, middle-aged or older, just because it's sporty. It is small. It's quick, 220 horsepower.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Uh,
Not bad at all.
And they're really pushing the youthful exterior styling.
That's what we both have. Youthful
That's,
exterior style.
well,
We're
I
going to
mean,
take a break. We're going to be right
opposite.
back on Cruise Control. You're on air. Automotive Magazine. Stay tuned. Yes, youthful styling. Do you think though some brands get it wrong? They're like they said that with a Vibe. They said that with
They
all of
did.
the what was the Toyota line that they came out with a new brand for young
Oh
people?
yeah. Oh yeah. The
That's another.
Scion.
Yeah, Scion. You could do forgotten
Scion.
cars for Scion.
Yeah.
You know. But then who bought it? It was like people that said, "Oh, hey, this
It
is like a
was
little
that was
cube-shaped vehicle that I can have as my second car to
yeah.
throw
It
crap
was a
in."
dismal failure.
Yeah, yeah, because nobody said they needed a separate brand for
I wonder
Toyota.
wonder what happened to the executive who presented the business plan to the board of directors for
They
the
all,
Scion, and
they
they
all,
spent billions of dollars
they
making
always
it.
say he will be working on special projects.
Oh, yes.
So
He's
we're
now stoking coal in the steamship.
well.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to get to. I hope we get to all these things before we have our guest James Bell
We
on
got to
from
go
Kia.
fast here.
We got to go fast. We're going to double speed it, but there's
I'm
so
going
much to get to.
downshift.
Downshift and build the RPMs of it.
Downshift. I'm pushing on the go pedal.
Yes. Used to be called the loud pedal, but um, big news this week for Motor Trend. They're shutting down production of all their shows, not the magazine
Yeah,
or the live events. That's separate. But
yeah.
Roadkill, all the
The other
shows,
shows.
yeah, they have new seasons coming up in the pipeline, but there just won't be shows after that. Uh, Originally, someone reported, "Oh, they're shutting down the magazine." They're not shutting down the magazine or the live events. They're just stopping the television production after the new season. So you've got like about a year probably of shows, and then after that, who knows? I think most will go to YouTube, and David Freiberger of Roadkill and Roadkill Garage already
Yep.
said that's what he's
Well,
doing.
the problem with all these shows is that they're competing with 500 other channels.
Yeah, and I think Warner Discovery is having some financial problems. The transition to streaming from linear cable,
Yep.
etc., and so they are looking to cut costs. But what will happen? Something always
Yep.
happens. Okay, you come in, Les
Yep.
Jackson.
I shall do so.
Cruise control.
And welcome back. Welcome back. We are really covering a lot going on with the LA Auto Show. We were just talking about the new Audi, the Acura.
Yes.
Boy, there I am with the wrong. uh, but we want to go to Italy now. The Fiat 500e. It is just the cutest thing.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
struggled a bit though, hasn't it, for sales?
well,
The
it
all
has.
electric version.
People haven't been buying them. They're not overpriced or anything. They just, I don't. Maybe they're just a little bit too small for American buyers.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the range maybe, I don't know, but this is just something to build interest in it. It is a Giorgio Armani collector's edition, and it's subdued in its look, but I do like the wheel covers that have the Armani logo. I do like the colors. I think they're
Those
pretty neat.
those colors are called green and greige.
Grige.
Greige.
I've never heard of that. Grige.
Well, I think it's a combination of green
And
and
silver?
gray.
Gray. Okay, grige. Um, I just think it's a cute little vehicle. It's a great around town, move from one area to the
I
other.
think it's the perfect car for an urban environment.
Yeah.
Even if it's a second car, it's just so practical
Yes. Yes.
and
Uh,
so cute. By the way, their tagline is "Don't drive it, wear it."
okay.
I
So
like that.
audio files. It has a seven-speaker JBL audio system with four virtual venues, including my music room, my recording studio, Giuseppe Verdi Opera House, and open air arena. So it's all it's fun. They had fun with this
Yeah.
with the EQ settings. Fast
Oh
charging,
boy.
31 miles or more. The 85 kilowatt fast charger, so 35 minutes from 0 to 80%, which translates to about 31 miles in about 35 minutes. There's talk they're going to bring out a better battery for this. There's talk they might even make it gas powered again. So we'll have
Well,
to see.
I think they should do something with the dash. It's just a little bit too, don't
Plain,
gosh,
plain.
plain, plain, and it's it doesn't need to be.
I like the body color dashes they had in the other models, where if it
Yeah.
was a red car, it was a red dash. I thought that was kind of cool. That reminded me of concept cars. But anyway, let us know in the comments. What do you think of the Fiat 500e? Too expensive or impossibly cute?
Do we have a price on it? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think we do. Just a special edition.
No.
But All right. Let's talk about something that sells a lot better, and that is the most popular vehicle over at Genesis, the GV70, which is their smallest crossover. They sell it as a gas power version with 2 available engines, and then an electrified version, which is great in a sense that it is an all-electric version of the same vehicle. So they don't try to make it different and put just a screen in there or whatever. It is the same vehicle, and they just have an electric drivetrain in there. Incredible interiors. I mean, they have brought the GV70 interior up to the standards of the GV80. So big screen across the dash, and just a good looking vehicle, newly redesigned and updated. The iconic 2-line headlamps equipped with micro lens array, the MLA technology. The front end has been enhanced with a bolder skid plate design, and they all infuse the high-tech Genesis distinctive Korean design principle, beauty of white space. That's a 27-inch OLED display, which integrates the infotainment system and the gauges. It's great, Les. It just kind of one fades into the other. It's I love this. It has 10 different exterior colors, including Ceres Blue, which was inspired by the dwarf planet between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Well, there's inspiration for you. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's a nice name.
So
I don't know if Ceres is blue, but I don't intend to go there to find out. But
yeah. We're just going to mention our next story because there's just so much going on here, and I see James Bell, our guest, is coming in soon to talk about everything Kia. But we can talk a little bit about the RS from Audi, if you like. I mean, they have some pretty cool photos of this. It looks like they're you build it yourself, right? That's what you were saying.
Pretty much, yeah. But this is this fastest, most powerful Audi ever made. 912 horsepower, 2.4 seconds, 0 to 60.
That's crazy.
That hurts. If you've ever been launched off an aircraft carrier, that's 0 to 100 in 2 seconds.
Yes.
And it's painful.
Oh, well, hopefully it's not painful if you own the Audi.
Oh, no, but you got to keep your wits about you.
Yeah. They've done an incredible amount with the e-tron lineup, haven't they?
Well, they really have. And,
I'm not even sure how many models they're up to at this point.
I don't think I could list off the top of my head more than half of them.
Yep. But this is the most powerful, as you said, 0 to 60, 2.4 seconds, and produces 912 horsepower.
Eventually, however fast you can go is a function of what the tires can do.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know. I'm just very impressed with their lineup, and
that's quite a machine.
God, do we have pricing on this? I don't think so. 300 miles of range with 20-inch wheels. Nope, we don't have pricing on it. But we do have a lot of...
No, it's a lot.
We do have a lot of technical detail about the suspension in German. So, but pretty cool stuff. I look forward to getting into an e-tron and putting it through its paces. 2.4 seconds, 0 to 60.
That's the fastest I've seen so far in production cars.
In a production car, yeah. Another interesting thing this week, Subaru brought out the 2025 Subaru Forester Wilderness Edition. which you would say, okay, that's great. But there's a new model Forester, new design, redesigned Forester, but Subaru is basing the 2025 Wilderness Edition on the old model. I'm not quite sure why, but they are. So just something to keep in mind if you go in to buy the Wilderness Edition, which is very popular. It will be based on the older model, so you don't get the newer designed infotainment system. You don't get some of the updates to the chassis, and basically they've completely redone the vehicle, the regular Foresters, the non-Wilderness models, but this is going to be based on the old one. I guess that's just the way it is, right? Do you think that will be a turnoff for some people, or what do you think? Hard to say.
No, I don't think so. I think as long as it delivers what they say it's going to deliver, it won't bother them.
All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what's new with Kia, and there's a lot because they kind of ran the table at the LA Auto Show with lots of reveals. So James Bell is going to be with us to take us through it. Stay tuned.
Cruise Control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staab and Les Jackson. James Bell from Kia is getting ready. I think he's moving to a new location for our interview, so we're going to let him get settled up. But so much going on at the LA Auto Show with Kia, Les. 5 new models. It's like a conveyor belt of new models.
And a lot of attention, a lot of interest.
Yes.
Kia is just everybody's watching Kia.
Yeah. And let's say hello to James. James, I think you're fine. You're here with us. Great. That looks good. You must be pretty tired. You must have been doing a lot of talking at the auto show in LA because 5 new vehicles, right?
Well, 3 really all new, or I should say, vehicles themselves. But the Sport Engine had 3 different versions, so it was 3 distinct vehicles. But yes, my voice come back. I did do a lot of talking and walking the last couple of days, but it's fun, auto shows, you get to see your friends, you get to be part of the community, and it's all a bunch of people that are, still playing with cars, can't believe our good fortune. So it was all good. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, let's start off with, this was the 2025 model in the lineup, and that's the EV6. A lot of redesign on this, and that's a great model to begin with, but what's new with it?
Well, I think that is a perfect example, and I'll probably use this analogy a couple times, of Kia really at its finest. Because when the EV6 came out, of course, it proceeded to go off and win just about every major award, especially from a lot of the new electric outlets, the Electrek, Inside EVs, etc. We really knocked the electric car business on its side with that machine. So what does Kia do? Well, they just take it all and make it better. And that's what exactly here with at the show. We showed what we call inside the company the EV6 PE, or product enhancement. And in this case, we've redone the headlights, so they come more into the family look that we call Star Map, with the bells that look kind of like a constellation with lines drawn between stars. We updated the taillights, give them a more kind of a richer 3D kind of appearance with the LED lights across the back. But I think what's really exciting is what we did on the inside. Didn't really make any big structural changes because it's already a very futuristic and interesting design. But a lot of the technology that we introduced on the EV9, the EV6's big brother, which was the very latest and greatest and most state of the art in the Kia lineup, is now on the EV6. Right. And that's another typical thing that does so well. We have something that that is the very as I say, cutting edge. In our flagship model, as car companies do, but within a year we push it down to other vehicles in the lineup, and now EV6 is our equal to the flagship when it comes to technology.
That's great. That is great. Um, EV6, I guess that's why that's a 2025 model. That's more of a kind of kind of a midlife cycle, mid-cycle enhancement, right?
Yep. The other car companies call them MCEs. You're right. We call them PE, but yeah, same premise. So in the industry, we sometimes say it's had a nose job and a butt lift.
And being that you're sitting in California, that's a perfect
makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So, well, we didn't stop there because next up we went to the EV9 GT, and this is a very powerful model, and it is also this is a 2026, right?
I heard you talking earlier about the Audi.
James is breaking up a little bit. We'll see if he can. Yeah. The EV9 GT. I mean, EV9's been a big success for the folks at Hyundai, and I'm sorry, the folks at Kia, and they have upgraded the power level of this with incredible power. I believe it's 510 horsepower, something like that.
501 horsepower.
501.
This is a serious machine.
Okay.
Yes, you're back. There he is, James back. We're talking EV9. First off, the EV9 has done very well for Kia, the current version that is out there now, right?
Yeah, it's been on sale for just about little over a year now. Obviously, striking design. When you see one on the road, you can't help but notice it because there's really nothing else like it. All electric, 3-row, 6 or 7 passenger. So with the EV6 GT, we showed the world that our engineering was not just about efficiency; it was about power and performance. So there was a lot of talk about when the EV9 came out that we would do a performance version of that. Also, given the fact that the platforms that both the EV6 and the EV9 ride on are very similar. Obviously, the EV9s has been stretched out and modified a bit for more proper off-roading and larger weight class and so forth. But point of the story is the basic bones are the same. So yeah, we thought doing a GT version of the EV9 would be fun. And now you've got a 500 plus horsepower, a family hauler that won't go as fast as 0 to 60 as that Audi you talked about, but 0 to 60 in about 4 is pretty good for a fairly priced machine that never has to use a drop of gasoline.
Yeah. It of course too, and it has all the great features of the EV9. That it's basically like a living room on wheels.
Well, yeah. Plus that electronically controlled suspension. I think that's that's some serious technology.
And that's the first.
And it's
go
SUV,
ahead. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say it's the first time we've had it in a Kia SUV. I mean, this thing's. Let me just put it to you this way: the vehicle that you're seeing here on the screen was the actual GT that we had at the show, and it was fantastic.
Oh.
The tires, we were not able, for whatever reason, timing, I guess, to get new tires put on them. And I love the fact that the tires on the car we had at the stand here in LA look like they've been worked pretty hard. When the tires out of the track and it gets a little, not only shaved down a little bit, but also a little bubbly looking and looks like it really got hot. That's what was sat on our family SUV there on the stand. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, that is a true gearhead talking there. And it also says, hey, this is a real vehicle. This is something that's been used and tested. And, good deal. Incredible looking interior. Just those seats look so comfortable.
Well, if you look at all the Kia products these days, the interiors are, first of all, they're very high quality materials. And secondly, very interesting design and stitching and levels, shadow lines, levels of materials on the door panels and everywhere else. And again, it's quality stuff, and it's no. In fact, I will give you a perfect example of that. I was at the dealership on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. I always get early appointments for anything to get the oil changed. And the showroom at the dealership didn't open until 9 o'clock, and there were already 6 people coming in the service entrance to go into the showroom and look at vehicles
That's great.
at 8 o'clock. And they, several of them said, well, are you here to look at new cars? Well, no, I'm getting an oil change. Well, why did you buy a Kia? And so I asked them, well, why are you here? Well, I'm really interested in the K4. I'm really interested in the EV. And I just thought, this is a Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
in
and
November.
they've got like a lineup of people, right?
Yeah, you of course, if you drive by the dealership on a Saturday afternoon or something, you can't, you can't even get a parking spot in there. There's a lot of buzz
Yeah.
going on. So you guys, you have really you've pressed all the right buttons.
Well, I also think, James, you're one of the few full-line automotive manufacturers now, because most don't have vehicles to suit other people. They have just moved into only large SUVs or something like that, and you have a wide variety. Because I was just looking at your regular site the other night. It's like, wow, they do have a lot of models. So that's good. We're going to take it. We're going to take a break, James, if you hold on for that. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Sportage, which I learned is, I believe, the best-selling model from Kia, and they've got multiple versions of that. So stay tuned to Cruise Control. We'll be right back. And James, we just keep talking to our streamed audience once our radio audience takes a break.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean that. There are so many different models. You look at that. Most manufacturers don't do this anymore. They are gotten out of the sedan business, or maybe they have one sedan left. You have multiple things, and you just keep bringing out more stuff.
It's interesting you say that. Just at the LA Auto Show yesterday, when I was getting leave, I just did my little traditional walk around the entire floor and see what everybody else is doing. A manufacturer that will go unnamed, maybe the name starts with F. I was shocked to see how their showroom, or I should say their stand at the show there was, all trucks and SUVs, and then a couple Mustangs.
Right.
And I mean, no offense, business model for them, obviously, but to your point, Fred, it was a bit striking to see just a lack of choice, unless you know that that's the brand you go to for that kind of product, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, it was a limited choice. You're right.
Well, from what I've heard, that you never want to lose. Somebody comes into your dealership, you never want to. They say, "Hey, I want a 3-row SUV," and you say, "Oh, I don't have one of those." Or, "Hey, I want a kind of an entry-level sedan that gets good mileage." You don't want to say like, "Oh, I don't know, go somewhere else." I mean, you got someone there ready to spend money. You don't want them to walk. So.
Well, but again, I can tell you from being inside car companies now, there's a lot of permutations, a lot of dynamics to keeping certain models in the lineup and eradicating others. So it's all tough decisions, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask about two vehicles. I thought they were going to be revealed. We're not talking out of turn because we know they are coming to the U.S. I thought you would have showed the EV3 and the K4 hatchback. I'm looking forward to both of those.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of people asking me about the K4 hatchback. I have the information on it.
Well, we'll ask James now. He has it.
Yeah. But I know who does have the information. So.
Yeah.
Well, you might see it soon.
Okay.
It was such a when we introduced the K4, at the auto show, we just had kind of a few images of the hatchback just to test and see if it was noticed. And oh boy, was it ever! So we made the business case for that pretty quickly. But I can't tell you when, but I can tell you will.
How about the EV3? Anything you can share on that?
Well, that's, I think, always been mentioned as being we are the last market globally to get that product, and it's already on sale in Korea, and I think just starting in Europe, if memory serves. So we're coming along. We'll be there soon.
Okay. I think we're both looking forward to those.
Next year is,
Unfortunately, he's not going to give you a date. We tried, but we
no,
know they're both coming, so we're not revealing anything new as far as that goes. But I did think two of those would be mentioned at the show. But let's keep.
Right.
There's plenty more.
I already did 5 machines. Don't kill me.
That's true. That's true. And we're just starting. We're just starting with the shows, so car shows. So there's plenty more to talk about. Plenty more opportunities. But that's great. And well, when we come back, we're gonna. I mean, Sportage is your best selling model, right? I did not realize that.
It's always number 1 or number 2. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Here we go.
know that.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Les, we have been talking with James Bell of Kia about all their new models. A lot going on at the LA Auto Show, 5 different models. And we realize now that the Sportage is your best-selling model. I thought it would have been the Telluride, James.
Telluride's always a consistent number 3 or number 4, which, at that price point is really great for us. But no, it is bouncing back, I should say, between the Forte/K4 and the Sportage for probably the last 2 years, if not longer. In fact, the Forte just finished up to be replaced by the K4. Did what rarely happens in the industry, where the sales just kept ramping up and up, kind of hockey stickish, and stayed up there.
Wow.
Which we didn't expect. Yeah. In fact, it caused some consternation for, maybe we want to hold off the K4 a bit because the Forte is still doing great. But, global supply chains don't allow that kind of thing. So, but yeah, the Sportage is always, it's the 5th generation of Sportage now. It feels almost like, every car company has their icon. Ours might be the Soul, or it might be the Sportage. It just, people see that car, know that name, think of Kia. And so, again, what does Kia do so well? When we have something that's working and already has a great audience, we make it better. And that's exactly the auto show with the Sportages.
Yeah, well,
I see more Sportages around here in the DC area than I do the CRVs and those sorts of vehicles. They're just everywhere. And the first one I ever saw was the Generation 1 when Sue Mead was driving one at an event. And I said, wow, that's a Kia Sportage. And of course, it was a lot smaller back then, James.
Yeah.
But everything was.
What's new for 2026? Obviously, it starts out front. It's a pretty aggressive grille.
Yeah, well, again, we talked about with the EV6 drawing everything into the family kind of heritage or the iconography. There we go. I can speak of. I told you the auto show. You're lucky to get my mouth to say words that aren't profane right now. So good job. But yeah, we have this, again, what we call our star map DRL lineup, where it looks like stars that have been linked with lines to create constellations. That's the imagery we want there. And so the Sportage and the EV6 were both outliers. They didn't have that kind of that look and feel. So we wanted to bring them into the family, as I said, and so that's why you see that new. And you're right, very aggressive grille, big mouth, as we like to say in the business, and but pretty. First time you see one, especially at night, you'll know it's a Kia, and that's one of the things about what I like about our Amber DRL lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving back, what's new under the hood?
Well, we have 3 carryover powertrains, which I said, the Sportage has been the top 1 or 2 seller in our lineup for over 2 years, so they must be working right. But we like the Sportage, great kind of a crossover. And what I mean by that is we have a normally aspirated 4-cylinder engine model, and we also have a hybrid version and a plug-in hybrid. And I can tell you guys, the plug-in hybrid versions of the Sportage are the really hot ones.
Yeah.
And what I think is happening is that it's an easy way, it's a comfortable way for people to start to build themselves towards having electrified transportation, whether that means, just the hybrid, just to get that great fuel efficiency, or the plug-in hybrid. So the vast majority of your driving is going to be, fully electric, because the range on the plug-in is about 40 miles on a charge. Average American drives about 28 miles a day. Do the math. You're not buying much gas. So that's why the plug-in hybrid version of the Sportage has been such a huge success, and we're just trying to get more supply of that from the factory, especially now that we've updated the looks inside and out.
Yeah, Les and I talk about this too. One of the benefits, people don't think about it much, but the benefits of a plug-in hybrid with the smaller battery, sometimes you don't
That's
even
right.
need to put in a specific charger, a level 2 charger. Just a
Oh,
regular plug will do it fine, right?
oh yeah, a 110 with the plug-in sized battery pack. It's like me with my EV6. I've got a level 2 here at the house, and that's like an 8-hour charge. So I've set up my home billing to be best as of 10 p.m. So then that's when I set the charge up, and then by 6 a.m. the next day, I'm fully charged. Same thing with the plug-in hybrid at 110. So you're right, and of course it comes with a 110 charger, so there's no investment. Just get it into a normal outlet, and you'll be fully charged the next day.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine charging infrastructure might be a little bit better in California. I went
Oh,
through it in New
it's got
York.
to be.
It was terrible. Les, remember I told you that story where I went to one
That's
and
right.
it was taken over by Uber drivers who said, "Get out of here! This is only for Uber," which
I,
it was Electrify America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, sorry, these are
yeah,
public
and a
charges.
lot of broken chargers. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
they'd need to get their act together on that. That's not anything to do with
But
Kia
there's
or
nothing
electric
more
cars.
convenient than your own house. And if you can plug in either in the garage or
Yeah,
out front, you'll use it. If you
yeah,
can't, now you're feeling it's a
well,
hassle.
well, guys, but I want to remind you of something. We are in a partnership with 7 other car companies with a new charging called Iona, and that is
Right.
you're going to have more and more stations pop up in the next couple months. I think the next one's for Houston or just happened in Houston, and then they're going to have a grand opening early next year. And these stations are going to be so innovative and so cool. I told the group at Iona that when I can just picture in cars somebody driving in an older SUV with their family, and as they're going by, the husband or wife looking at an Iona station and saying, "Gee, honey, maybe we should consider an EV because we get to go there." And
Yeah.
no, it's true. These are real
And
destinations, and they'll all be well maintained. And so when you talk about charging infrastructure, guys, you gotta trust me. We are on the edge of solving this problem. We will look back at 2024, 25, and say, wasn't that quaint when there wasn't charging all over the place? That's
right.
yeah, you're
going to
right.
be.
You're right. This is happening at a very, very rapid pace.
We'll have to have you
Uh,
on to talk about those charging stations too. Destination
yeah.
charging. I like it. I mean, it's not like well, for example, I found one and the level 2 was broken. The level maybe it was better than level 2. I don't know. It didn't work, so I don't know what it was. But
Yeah.
I think I connected to the level 2 and it was right out in front of the Amazon store and I ended up spending $50 on groceries, but I got free charging. So I guess maybe it's a wash. I don't know. So, but we definitely want to hear more about that charging solution. We'll have to have someone on in the future. So let's talk hybrid. I know you're right too. That's another thing people don't think of, Les. The horsepower goes up pretty dramatically
Yeah.
when you go to either hybrid or plug-in hybrid, right? What's the
That's
jump? Do
right.
you know off the top of your head, James?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I know from just a storyline when I learned that we were getting rid of the 6-cylinder in the Sportage, and also the Sprint, and going with a turbo hybrid. I thought, oh no, that's a shame. We're going too far down the trail of efficiency for efficiency's sake. And then, but our product planner said, no, you don't get it. The turbo hybrid's the fun one. And sure enough, I think it was a 256 horsepower, something like that. But the gobs of torque that are available, because of that electric powertrain,
Yeah.
that comes right off the line. And so, yeah, it's a little tire squealer. It's a lot of fun. And so it's not only the most efficient way. I mean, you can get better than 500 miles on a tank with the hybrid, but then also it's the fun one. So, boy, that sounds like a perfect way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I also find, just in general from driving a lot of vehicles, a hybrid, sometimes, it will take a little shiftiness to get going in a non-hybrid vehicle. The hybrid gives you, as you said, that instant shot of electric power, and by the time that instant shot happens and you're accelerated onto the highway or pulling out into traffic or whatever, now the engine is up to speed and in the right gear. So it's a good idea. James, it goes too fast. It goes too fast. We will have to have you back on a lot sooner. James Bell from Kia. We appreciate it. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
We are going to see you down the line. Take care.
Bye.